All right, my guy David Grubb. Speaking of Grubb, is down in Nolens, and I gotta tell you, dude, it's good to see you. I went.
Always a pleasure.
Listen, I went the first night I got to New Orleans. I went to Mr. B's, and I mean to tell you, I ate like $500 worth of everything. I mean, I had jambalaya. I must have eaten 300 oysters, every kind of oyster known to man. I drank like so many they had to carry me out of the place. I mean, the food there was so good. The gumbo. I honestly, I thought I was gonna have sex with the restaurant itself, like just the restaurant itself. I was gonna make love to it because they couldn't get me out of there. And in fact, I had so much fun, and they had so much fun with me there. They started giving me stuff. They're like, "Ferrall, have some dessert," and they just kept bringing out stuff to me to eat. And then Carver High told me, he said, "Yo, you got to go to Acme Oyster Bar." So I stroll over there on night two with Mafia here, and we ate like literally 1,000 oysters. I had grilled, I had broiled, I had raw, I had I mean, I had crab meat on top. I had Parmesan cheese and crab meat. I drank like a
Yes.
hundred shots. I mean, honestly, that's the greatest food town. I mean, Vegas, New York City are on another level. But for real, free, delicious food, it's Nolens.
Yeah, I think that, New Orleans, as far as food goes, this is, people call us the gas station city because, like, when you come down here, we have gas stations that produce better food than a lot of restaurants when you go to other places. It's just, food is just part of the culture in a way that it isn't anywhere else in the world. It is how we express our affection to each other. And you grow up in this city, if you have people that you care about, you learn how to cook a great meal for them.
I mean, dude, like I don't even care about the Super Bowl. I was like, where are we going
That's why
tonight?
this should be a city every 4 years. New Orleans should be a host for the Super Bowl every 4 years.
It's automatic and it's just such a party. I mean, it is hardcore. I had a blast. Anyway, although I am not impressed, uh, in fact, you're gonna hate me for saying this. I don't even think they deserve to have the NBA there anymore. It's so bad. It's so bad there that that team has gotten so the way they run it is a disaster. And then they fired Griffin today. What is going on with their NBA team down there? Because I think it's like almost like on fire.
The Pelicans are in a perpetual state of malaise. It's just, and I think you're right in the sense that what direction is this team going in? The 6 years of David Griffin were ultimately a failure. The hope and optimism that came with the drafting of Zion Williamson, all of that is gone now. And I think that there are people, the organization, the fan base, everyone is just incredibly divided on what the next step should be because this team has never charted a clear course. And you could say that's been the story for the entirety of the Benson regime. Since they've taken over, this team has only won one playoff series. Since this team has been in New Orleans, they've won a grand total of two playoff series. And yes, they've squandered some of the best players that you possibly couldn't you name. When you talk about giving up on Chris Paul so early in his career, and he's played with twice as long the rest of his career in other places than he did in New Orleans, but New Orleans has never been as successful as it was with him. To watch Anthony Davis go and win a championship, to watch Drew Holiday to win two championships in other places, even JJ Redick, who was a player in New Orleans, going on and
Look at
being a
him.
successful head
Look at
coach
him.
somewhere else.
Look at him.
It's it's just it's so frustrating, and it's kind of like the interest the arena is bad, the interest
Right.
is waning. There just needs to be an injection of life and energy and hope, because this is kind of like what the Clippers were from the 80s through almost 2000, when it's just they were constantly getting number one picks. They were occasionally they would make the playoffs, like when they had that team with Doc Rivers and Ron Harper and stuff like that, and you would think they were going to get out of it, but the
Right.
Clippers were going to be the Clippers. And I think that, that's what the Pelicans are, is that people just expect no matter what advantages that you give the New Orleans Pelicans, they will find a way to squander it.
So listen, I'm down there, right? And I'm chilling the most. And I swear to God, I said this. We were in the van, like, I don't know, going whatever. Mafia may have been with me or not. I said, listen, this team, we drove by the arena. I went, man, no one even cares about this team. I go, like, all people care about here is eating and going out and good music and eating and getting effed up. There is no one that wants to go to those games. Their franchise is dead in the water. You might as well be in the middle of the Mississippi drowning. I think it's in trouble. Like, I legitimately think they're in trouble. Like, there are a lot of cities that want NBA teams. And I think, respectfully, because I really like your town, I've been there for a
Right.
lot. I've been there for a lot of Super Bowls. I've been there for a lot of NCAA basketball championships. The favorite of mine, Indiana beating Syracuse in '87, the last game I ever covered for Bob Knight. I love New Orleans, but I think they got a problem. I really do. I said to Mavi Redunner, I go, there's no reason for this franchise to be here anymore. It's dead.
And I think that the foot of that falls mostly at what the ownership has been. You know, I remember when this team moved here, George Shinn, who's one of the worst owners in NBA history, really did a horrible job insulting the ground, just kind of burning bridges with people. He made no friends locally. Then the team goes into receivership where the league owns them for a couple of years, and then you sell to the Bensons on the cheap because they were the only people locally who kind of had any money, and
Right.
they've not really treated this team the way it should be. You know, they've been, as has been reported plenty of times, treated as the stepchild to the New Orleans Saints. This is a community at a state that has a rich basketball history. Louisiana has one of the best basketball histories you could look at, and
Fair enough.
and yet there has never been a sustained success for basketball. Whether you talk about the New Orleans Jazz, they were never treated properly while they're here, playing in the cavernous Superdome or playing in ballrooms and things like that. They weren't treated properly, so they leave and go to Utah where they've had success by and
Right.
large. Now with the Pelicans slash Hornets, again, bad ownership, bad leadership, bad decisions. I can tell you that I've heard from some fans who have said maybe we just don't do basketball well professionally. I've even had people say, could we trade the basketball team for a hockey team? This is New Orleans. And people are asking about a hockey team. That's how
That's
bad it's got.
hilarious. That's hilarious. I have to ask you, Dave, that I like Zion. I think he's just a monster, and when he's healthy, he's unstoppable. He does whatever he wants. He will dunk on your face and sleep with your girlfriend. I mean, he gets what he wants when he's healthy and plays. They have treated him like a bitch down there, like he's some kind of soft ass cream puff, like never playing him and everything else. You can't tell me that brother doesn't want out of there.
I think that this, next decision is the only decision. If you have 3 years remaining on Zion's contract, so essentially, if you decide that you're going to ride with him, and you better fully commit to this, you better say next season, Zion, we're putting the ball in your hands. There's no problem here with Brandon Ingram anymore. This is not a split organization. This is your team, and you can choose now to lead us, or you can choose to leave. And I think that ultimately the lottery pick is going to make that decision for the Pelicans. If you get the number one pick in Cooper Flag, I think that's an indicator that you need to do a full rebuild. If you're still in the top four, I think that discussion is still on the table. But if you fall beyond the top, outside of the top four, then I think you have Zion Williamson for the next 3 years. You need to figure this out, and you need to build a team that works for him. And the Pelicans
Right.
have never built a team that was suited for Zion Williamson. Hell, how many number one picks do you know that didn't get introduced last? As part of the starting lineup until after Brandon Ingram left. Zion Williamson was not the last player introduced until Brandon Ingram left. So that tells you the way he's been
Yeah.
treated here, and I think that's been a big problem.
Listen, I love you. You're awesome. Mafia, what were those things you got me in the morning to eat? Those baguettes or whatever they are? What are they with the powder?
Beignets.
Oh, listen, those beignets. He gave me 30 of them one morning to try to kill me, and I ate all 30 of them. I ate all 30. I ate all 30 of them, David Grubb.